All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this month's Bloom Business Series webinar. My name is Hannah Beard, and I am the Marketing and Merchant Engagement Manager for Downtown Inc. And today we're talking about destination marketing and how your business can participate in leveraging local efforts in order to attract more visitors and customers. So today's event is made possible by our presenting sponsor, PNC. Once again, thank you to PNC for your continuing support of our 2023 Bloom Business Series. All right, thank you again to PNC for your support. So with us today are three panelists whose destination marketing efforts benefit York County and downtown York, but these principles apply to any destination hoping to attract more visitors. If you're unfamiliar with the term destination marketing, it's just what it sounds like. It's a marketing approach that involves promoting a specific location, such as a town or city, like downtown York, to potential visitors in order to increase visitorship and boost the local economy. So the goal is to boost awareness and highlight the reasons to come to our area, attract people to the destination, and provide them with the information they need to make spending decisions, such as where to stay, eat, shop, and find other local amenities. So before we get into our panel discussion, I'm going to take a few minutes to share some of Downtown Inc.'s destination marketing initiatives and how you can participate. So to begin, these are just very quick snippets of this information, and I'm more than happy to discuss them more in depth with you, so please do reach out. The current wayfinding is a project that we're working on right now as an organization. The current wayfinding was installed in 1998. If you've seen it, you know that it's weathered, damaged, inaccurate, not as pretty as it could be, but we're working on it. And the new wayfinding should be here soon, which is very exciting. And Downtown Inc. has secured the services of Jurgen Edson on this project. And the new signs will reflect community signifiers, key destination points, and preferred arrival routes throughout downtown. And I included John Damaris, our director, in the bottom right-hand corner. I included his email address. Please do reach out to him for questions or anything that you would like to discuss about the wayfinding. I will say it is a sexy project because it's very exciting and it's going to make our downtown look even more beautiful. Go ahead, next slide. So the Districts app, we officially launched it to the public last week. If you're not familiar with the Districts app, I would encourage you to download it on Google Play or the Apple App Store. This allows visitors to easily navigate downtown York from their phone. It's not specific to downtown New York. You can use it anywhere in the country that also has a Main Street organization that utilizes districts. But we now have it in our city. It's quite the pedestrian-friendly tool and also business-friendly tool as well. So go ahead and download the app if you're a visitor. If you are a merchant that would like to get on the Districts app, you can do that by going to districts.com. and sign up or claim your business on the app. If you have questions about that, please, of course, also reach out. And we will talk about that a little bit at the end as well. Next slide. So Downtown Inc. does a variety of promotions ranging from social media to website to newsletters to magazines. So the forms of social media that we most heavily utilize are TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have dedicated promotions for downtown York venues, event venues, gift cards, takeout, delivery services. You can find these all on our website. We also promote outdoor dining, our Merchant of the Month, and the Clean 15 initiative on the website as well. We are leading destination marketing to visitor audiences. So this is anybody outside of York County that we want to come visit here in our downtown. Last year, we promoted 300 plus downtown York specific events, and we plan to reach and excel past that goal this year. We also promote First Fridays in downtown York through social media, website, a press release, and we also send out monthly newsletters to an audience of roughly 5,000 plus visitors and people that live in downtown York. If you're familiar, we also have a Downtown York magazine that we create in-house, and each quarterly issue we produce about 8,000 copies, which we share throughout downtown York businesses, 11 county-wide locations, 300 get mailed directly, and there are 14 stops at PEA welcome centers and rest stops that get the magazines as well. Okay. So let's welcome our lovely panelists. Our first panelist is Melissa Beaverson. Melissa is Director of Destination Marketing at Explore York, the official tourist promotion agency for York County, previously known as the York County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Melissa oversees a team of 5 at Explore York and is responsible for marketing, strategy, branding, social media, and communication efforts. An experienced tourism marketing professional, she's passionate about cultivating business relationships and bringing people together to collaborate on projects. Melissa is also a recent addition to our York Business Improvement District Authority Board of Directors. Next is Michael Bloom, Managing Director for the Yorktown Hotel Tapestry Collection by Hilton. Michael will oversee daily hotel operations, total quality management, overall sales, associate development, financial controls, and guest satisfaction for the historic one-of-a-kind hotel. Bloom, who has more than 25 years of experience in the hospitality industry, most recently served as dual general manager for Intermountain Management, and prior to that assignment, reported as Regional Director of Operations for Newcrest Image Hotels. He has received numerous awards for the Marriott and Hilton brands for associate development, guest satisfaction, and financial performance. And our final panelist is Megan Gibbon. As Director for the White Rose Leadership Institute, Megan leads Give Local York, York County's Big Give Day, which has raised $15 million for hundreds of York County nonprofits over the last 5 years. Previously, Megan served as Chief Marketing and Development Officer for Downtown Inc. and has been working to build the York community since her return to her hometown in 2010. She's co-owner of the Pretzel Company, Archetype Pizza, and Roost Uncommon Kitchen, all here in downtown York, and on the board of York Day Early Learning Center and the York County Convention and Visitors Bureau. So thank you to our panelists for joining us. If you have questions for today's panelists during the presentation, please submit them through the Q&A and the chat feature along the taskbar at the bottom, and then we will address them at the end of the program. All right, so our first question is for Melissa. So Melissa, can you give us an overview of Explore York's approach to destination marketing? What are some of the ways you work to promote York, the county as a whole destination for travelers?
Sure. Yep. Good morning, and thank you for the invitation for being here today. So first, I should say that it really does take a village, right? Obviously, Explore York as the official tourist promotion agency, or sometimes we're referred to as a DMO, a destination marketing organization. Our team, right now there is 5, very soon to be 6th. I'm happy to announce that a new edition is starting in February. But it just comes from the marketing and promotions that we do, really comes from the information that we receive from our community, our partners, our members, our friends of the organization. So, you know, as the official tourist promotion agency, our main purpose really is to promote York County to tourists and visitors. And we do that through all of the ways that everyone on this call can already think of, right? So there's paid advertising, whether it's a co-op promotion that we do with the state tourism office, which is Visit PA. There's digital marketing campaigns. We have a very robust one running right now that just promotes all of the attractions and events across the county, and that's a year-long event. And then there's, everything that we do in-house, all of our earned media, our social media, whether it's organic or placement, blogging, our website, email marketing. I mean, we're marketing and promoting York County on a daily basis. And, then there's direct selling by our sales team, whether it's through the sports market, group tour, meetings and conventions is still a market that's returning to us after COVID. But our bread and butter really is the sports market and group tour. And then of course there's word of mouth, right? All of our residents and everyone in the community talking about York County to their family and friends. And so it's really a collaborative effort. And I'm happy to participate today and hear what both, Megan and Michael have to say as well.
Thanks, Melissa. Michael, the next question is for you. What are some ways that the Yorktown highlights and capitalizes on the hotel's location in downtown York? Hold on, Michael, I think we need to unmute you.
Gotcha. Good morning. Sorry
Go
about
ahead.
that. I was trying to be quiet. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of today's call. It's an honor. It's a privilege to be with both Megan and Melissa, who I have an enormous amount of respect for, and being the newbie to the market. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of takeaways from our discussion today. But, from a location, the first rule of marketing is location, location, location. And, at the Yorktown Hotel, we benefit tremendously from proximity. Proximity is such an important part to our destination marketing exercise. We do recognize that, while York is very, very special, our data shows that within 2.5 hours, 85% of our business is produced. So we're very much networked with, Harrisburg, Lancaster, and Gettysburg, recognizing that hub and spoke focus is really for the benefit of all of us. And, York being as contributory and an option for travelers within 2.5 hours is just so critical. So how do we differentiate ourselves? And one way that we can differentiate ourselves is those people beyond 2.5 hours. We do have transportation within close proximity. BWI, Baltimore, Harrisburg, and Philadelphia, which again expands our footprint and allows us to competitively, put ourselves forward into the area for those leisure travel and corporate dollars that are available. But the single most important benefit, I think, the Yorktown Hotel and being downtown specifically is we're pedestrian, that you can walk to the different options that are available. And I don't think we can underestimate that. The guest now wants to park, they want to enjoy the hotel, they want to experience the hotel, they don't want to be in their rooms. So what we do is we work very, very much to promote the local area attractions, whether it's the Pell Center or Central Market or the Rail Trail. Those are all advantages that we can share. We focus in on the relationships with the district leaderships, whether it's Royal Square District or the market or WECO. We want to be out into the market and attending and hearing from those people who are closest to the guest and what it is that we can do differently. And then the F&B options within proximity and being pedestrian, we're going to have a limited meal offering here at the hotel. So we're going to be referring a lot of our guests to local restaurants, area in that type of element. And then, the other part, from a pedestrian perspective is we very much focused in on the graphics around the retail space of the hotel so that people walking by can get information about the hotel. They get a sensory experience about the hotel. And they really come to understand, what does that hotel have to offer? How does it tie in, and how does a hotel tie into my experience at a restaurant, at an artisan, at a at an event space, at a community destination. And, you know, I think having a hotel in downtown is really going to fully complement some of our energies that we haven't enjoyed, you know, over the last, 6 years. So we're really excited to be a partner and be a driving force to people coming downtown to have a full, complete experience, from a staycation perspective.
We're very excited too, Michael. Thank you.
Hannah, I would just like to sort of echo what Michael said and add that, people are going to be, the pedestrians, the foot traffic, people are going to be looking for things that they can do and things that they can walk to. And, one of the things that I should have mentioned in my first section was the fact that we produce a printed travel guide. It's obviously online too, but we print 100,000 plus copies of that and we distribute that across the state. And so when people are looking for things to do, we have sort of this official guide that tells people some suggested itineraries. There's editorial and advertorial, and that's of course found locally, but we also distribute that across the entire state, whether it's in welcome centers or turnpike plazas or AAA offices or, large scale convention centers. So we encourage everybody to check that guide out, and certainly from a business to business standpoint, we'd like to talk to people that are interested in getting their name out there more and being part of that guide.
One additional point, just hooking on what you said, Melissa, coming into the market new, as being a new entrepreneur in the market, but Melissa has a schedule of all of the events, of what's happening every weekend and what's coming in. And we were able to specifically target those groups for hotel stays, but even more importantly, to let them know and update them on the information of the destination. So Melissa's got a great list of day by day, week by week, month by month. And we utilize that not only for our marketing campaign, but we also utilize that to identify peak periods and our budgeting.
Yeah, I mean, that's our convention calendar. And I mean, our sales team sort of lives and breathes that on a daily basis. But when you're an operation running your business and you're wondering, what traffic flow may look like for a specific day or a specific weekend, those are the kinds of that's the type of information that we can share with you to let you know that there's several thousand people coming into the area for X, Y, and Z event. And restaurants can expect an uptick. And so, yeah, I encourage everyone to be familiar with that.
Awesome. Great resources. And kind of piggybacking on that conversation, Meg, will come over to you. Can you give some examples of how small businesses, such as your restaurants, work together to pool resources and efforts to make downtown York a destination for visitors from either county or farther?
Yeah, absolutely. So, back in my Downtown Inc. days, we sort of took on the motto that many hands make light work. And what we realized is, a lot of small businesses, small restaurants like mine, or especially shops and boutiques, the galleries, might not be able to pay for print advertising or billboards or radio on their own. But if we all pulled together, we were able to sort of make those things happen. So what we definitely saw start happening, within the past 6, 7, 8 years is businesses and organizations sort of banding together, whether based on sort of geography and where they're located, or maybe their business type and their industry, coming together to collaborate on shared events, shared promotions. So, if you think of Royal Square or WeCo, geographically based businesses coming together to sort of identify themselves and plan activities around being together. This is also where really Restaurant Week and the Restaurant Association came out of, the small independent restaurants in York City working together for that. Used to be one-time event, now takes place twice a year, and has also grown to include, Burger Week and Crab Week and all of those kind of things. So that collaborative piece is really important, not only for being able to share your resources and pull together to be able to make a larger impact, but I think it really does then become more of a destination type thing. So, we're seeing now we have a lot of breweries in York. We're seeing more of these ale trails and brewery tours coming out of that. I was recently saying to someone, we've really started making a mark, I think, in terms of vintage and thrift shopping. And I think that there's something there that our shops could, really be working together. Our arts organizations had a really great art trail the other week. So it's those sort of pieces where you sort of look at who is doing something similar, or maybe reaching a similar audience or an audience you might wanting to be reaching as well, and sort of reach out to them to see how you might work together and cross promote. We've also seen occasions in the past where shops are working with restaurants and vice versa. So bring your receipt from shopping here and get a discount on this meal, bring your receipt from the restaurant and get something from the Appel Center, that sort of piece. So it's really that idea of realizing that we're all neighbors, and we always would say a rising tide lifts all boats. So reaching out to each other to figure out how can we work together and support each other, and also of course improve and help all of our businesses at the same time.
Yeah, I would love to add on to that. And Megan, thanks. That sort of gets everything flowing in my head and all the things that I was like, oh, I have to say this. I should have said that. But right, we're developing programs at Explore York with the sole purpose of supporting the community and our partners and our members. So if we need to course correct or change those programs or develop new programs, I mean, that's for us to figure out. One of the programs that we're looking at doing, though, and you mentioned this early on, is co-op. And I said this also. So if we do a cooperative effort with the state and we put in money and the state matches it 100% and we market the destination, we want to develop the same thing from a York County, York City, maybe even a regional effort where a small business may not be able to do something on their own. But if they come to the table and 4 others come to the table and Explore York can be sort of a matching organization, then that just gives us buying power, and it just gives us more ability to share all of what's happening. And that's really what it's all about. It's sharing all of the unique selling points that we have, specific to York County. So.
Excellent, thanks. And Melissa, this next question is for you, so we can keep going off of that. What kind of visitor data does Explore York have or have access to, and how do you use that to direct your marketing efforts?
Oh, data. I have a love-hate relationship with data, because as soon as I receive data, I always question the data. And then I wonder if I should trust the data, or, they say the old adage of like garbage in, garbage out. So are we storing the right kind of data? And it can cause for myself a little bit of analysis paralysis. So I ask everyone on my team and at the organization to sort of check me, but we use a platform, and we're still learning this platform, and we're getting better with it. But the platform is called Voyage, and it's through a third-party agency, and it is a visitor intelligence data platform. So it provides us with clean, and I say clean, but it's clean third-party data through a provider. The provider's name is Near, and it is cell phone data, and not sort of sketchy data that you might inadvertently be giving out when you're playing Candy Crush or something, but like data. So I go into an area, I use my cell phone to check the weather, and that obviously if my location services are turned on, that then tells this platform, where I am and what I am doing. So there is a little bit of, people have to keep in mind that has to be enabled. Users have to enable that setting, and no sooner will we figure this whole platform out, and then something in the world will change, right? And we'll have to figure out what the next step is. But this platform allows us to determine what we refer to as points of interest, or POIs. And I think we have the ability throughout the county to have about 60 POIs. So a point of interest could be a very specific landmark. It could be a park. It could be a very specific attraction. Users come inside of, let's just say it's this virtual fence. They come inside of this fence. They do a few things. We know when they arrive and somewhat how they're moving about the area. That just allows us from a marketing standpoint to sort of know, marketing 101 is to know your audience and then talk to your audience based on where they are and what they're doing and when it's right for them. And then of course, we can pair that with our website analytics. We can put all of our paid media inside of this system so that it's seamlessly tracking like, oh, look, our paid media hit this day and then this event happened and then people hit this page of our website because that's where we were directing them. So it just sort of shows us some patterns. It identifies our top 5 visiting states. We can also track what our comp set, what our competitors are doing. If they have paid marketing and advertising that's out there, we can pull that into the system, see what their creative looks like, see what their messaging looks like.
And Melissa, when you say paid marketing, does that also include like targeted social media ads or sponsored content on socials?
Yeah, as long as there's paid creative attached to it and they're listed as one of our comp sets, I think we can have, there's a whole bunch of different parameters through the platform, but I think we can have, it's either 10 or 20 competitors. I'm getting 2 of the sections confused, but we can say, tell me what Lancaster is doing, or tell me what Frederick, Maryland is doing, and we can see the creative. It tells us we loop in our specific data that we receive about hotel stays and average daily rate and all of the stuff that is shared through something we call our star report, and that's a very specific hotel report. And excuse me, I think that's everything as far as data goes. Again, it's making sure that what we're getting and then making educated guesses on, or not necessarily a guess, but that what we're doing as a result of the data is what we should be doing. And so we have to look and then relook and it's constantly sort of course correcting along the way.
I'll just add in too that, even, the smallest business, you have access to data as well for your customers. And it could be, looking at the analytics of your website or your social media and see where people are coming to you from or checking you out from. But even, at the register point of sale, just even talking to people to find out, where are you from? How did you find us? Asking those sort of questions. And of course you can build a savvier survey or something more formal. But having those conversations and getting to know who your audience is and who your customers are, those are tools that you can use to then figure out what is working or what maybe you need to adjust. Or, we love hearing people. Roost especially has become a bit of a brunch destination. So people are coming from out of town and, and then of course where did you hear about us? And taking it from there. So then you can sort of check in person real time, what's working, what might not be working. So, you don't have to have a huge data platform, paid subscription to be able to mine information about your business and your customers. You can start small and work from there.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that, I think that's a great point, getting that data through communication. But one of the things that we did kind of created a catchphrase, which is, what is your Yorktown story? And we'll be utilizing that as a part of our script auditing for every person that checks into the hotel, because we need to enter in what brought them to the area. It actually cues us to ask that question. But hooking on what Megan said, what is your Yorktown story? We don't want it to come across as being a static question. We want it to be a genuine, authentic inquiry into tell us about the time that you were here at the hotel, because so many people have been here at the hotel. It's overwhelming. It's really where we got the whole mantra of what is your Yorktown story. And then if the person was to say, I don't have a Yorktown story, then that's our launch into, well, let us tell you about what's ahead of you, and trying to create an excitement and an energy in your business in terms of that engagement. That's what they're going to walk away with feeling, is the feeling that you created through that interaction. And that's a big part of as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you have a direct impact. But as our team doing that, and that's really catching people doing things right and focusing in on their script audits and having that sequencing be interpersonal, I think is such a value add. And I couldn't agree more, Megan, that people we want York to be, wow, that was the friendliest hotel, the friendliest area, the greatest restaurant service. Did they walk away with a wow? And I think that's the best thing that we can do as entrepreneurs, is to establish and continue to reestablish ourselves as that destination compared to those other hub and spoke cities who have benefited a little bit from our hotel not being available. Now that the hotel is available, I think we can all leverage the opportunity of relationship and staying and experiencing downtown on a longer experience than into a specific business.
Thanks, Michael. And while we have you talking about the Yorktown, how does the Yorktown identify stakeholders to work collaboratively to increase the number of visitors to the area?
Wow.
So kind of similar to what we were just talking about, but
No, I've been in the market for about now a year, and I've been in a number of different markets, and I've never been in a market where it's so intimate, it's so connected, the relationships and the partnerships are so sound. It really forces you to take a step back if you're a new person to this market. And I don't want us to ever forget that. I think that that's our distinct and competitive advantage. There's two things, I guess. The first thing is we cannot underestimate the power of the Hilton brand and what that brings to our downtown market. It is globally recognized. It has the premier frequent guest program. We do a lot with packages and social media share that's global, that we just benefit as a result of being a Hilton versus being some other either independently owned chain or some other chain. Just quite frankly, Hilton is the leader in destination marketing in those aspects. So we really cannot, we're going to be the 100th Tapestry Collection hotel by Hilton. So that's going to give us even some additional exposure for ourselves and our partners downtown, which we're excited about. And then, last year, our partnership with the YCIDA and the YCEA, we did over 100 tours, literally 100 tours. They lasted anywhere between an hour and 45 minutes. Some of them were individual. Some of them were groups as large as 45 or 50 people. But we really got down grassroots. And I think that again gets back to, who are those people that we build a relationship? It was Explore York. It was working with Melissa and her group. It was Better York and understanding what is going on in those circles. Our participation in the Rotary was invaluable to help us understand how we could make a difference. Getting to know the corporate partners in the area and their wisdom of, having been in the market and how the market has changed and being a city of makers and how we can, how can we further lock arms and do that. And Melissa's smiling because, that's what we're doing as a hotel, is we're trying to message that we're makers and what can we do. And then, the other thing, and I'm humbled by it, just my first meeting when we did the Downtown Inc. update. And I think I was with the company, I was with the market like 14 days or 7 days or something like that. And I'm presenting at the Appel Center. And the first person who Facebooked invite me as a friend was Jonathan. So when Jonathan Samaras, and I was like, I scratched my head. I'm like, why is Jonathan Facebook messaging me and asking me to be his friend? And only did I know that that's such an important vehicle to the partnerships, relationships, working together cooperatively, that you can literally through those types of communications, that social media for us and as a hotel and for me as a leader, not like anything I had ever experienced. And so I feel very informed as a result of staying up to speed and leveraging Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok to help me understand what it is that's going on downtown, and how, as a hotel operator, can I contribute? What can I participate in? And then what can I invite people to participate in? Because like I said, we did 100+ tours of every single, I mean, it was just incredible, from the youngest child, the oldest, most senior member of our community. It was just eye-opening.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. And we can open this question up to all of you. So what should small businesses know about visitor trends and preferences? Melissa, do you want to kick this one off?
Sure. Yeah, and I just want to say that I love hearing a city of makers. I just love that. You know, our destination brand for the whole county is to have it made here, and that it really is baked on that maker spirit, and which is what York County was founded on, right? All of that making and creating and manufacturing. And so I love that. And we're trying always to figure out ways to partner with organizations and makers to get that message out there, because, you know, and this is, I'm a little off topic, but there's your brand that you want, and then inevitably there's always the brand that you are, excuse me. And if we can, you know, marry the two together, then it just, amazing things can happen. And Michael, you said it, you know, it's all about connections, right? I mean, it's community connections. So back to the question though, Hannah, which I should repeat, but what should small businesses know about visitor trends and preferences, right?
Yep.
So there's loads of information out there about this. And today's Wednesday. Tomorrow is our annual meeting, and our keynote speaker is from Tourism Economics, and he's an economist, and he's going to speak to us about, you know, travel and tourism and trends and what's on the horizon. And so I'm very excited for that. And I'm, in hindsight, I'm like, geez, I wish that would have been yesterday, because then I could have really had some great information. But in no particular order, 3 of the things that I did want to mention was this concept of, kind of a weird word, but like leisure travel, right? So that's people, and not necessarily business in the old school term, but it's really just, we have to travel for this as a family, as a business person. And so why don't we pair some leisure on with it too? Like, oh, I'm going here for a conference, maybe I should bring my family and we should tack on a day or 2. I mean, that's not really a new concept, but I think it's definitely coming back in full force after COVID. And so pairing business and leisure travel, or in our case, the youth sports market, right? And families are extending their stay to sort of use York County as that hub and spoke, and sort of go off to do maybe history things or amusement park things, but if we can get them into our county to add on an extra day and show them an amazing experience, then maybe they're coming back next time simply for leisure. So that's a huge opportunity for us. And then, you know, another opportunity, and sometimes it could be seen maybe as not a positive, but a lot of what used to be necessary travel, you know, whether it's going across the United States or even just regionally, or even just going down the road for a meeting, a lot of that has been replaced with virtual, which is amazing. And it opens up our world, and it gives us all kinds of opportunities that maybe we didn't have access to before. But travelers and you know, people, nothing compares to human connection. And so people are still trying to find those authentic experiences, and they want to travel for that bonding, right? I mean, you know, even your business travel, you can go to an on-site conference and learn things while you're sitting in the meeting room all day. But we all know that the connections really happen when it's happy hour, right? Or when there's like an event, or you're having lunch. I mean, that's when those authentic conversations happen. And it's the same with travel. You travel maybe for something that you have to do, But then you go out of your hotel and you start walking around and you see all these things that you're like, wow, now I get to do this because I'm here. It's like flipping the switch other than, oh, I have to go do this thing. It's like, what else can I find while I'm there? And we have such an opportunity in York to, whether it's through itineraries or authentic small town charming experiences, we have such an opportunity to tell people about all these hidden gems. And then, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say the rise of and the use of sort of, and Michael, please don't take this the wrong way, but we can't ignore the fact that there's the rise of non-traditional accommodations, right? And kind of the VRBOs of the world, and not that those will ever replace our Yorktown Hotel, and but we do have to figure out a way that those work in the fold, and you know, and then of course people that are looking for feeling a little bit more like a local when they go somewhere. So I love the what is your story and coming up with authentic and genuine stories that we can market as the Visitors Bureau. That's amazing. You know, and then one other thing that is kind of a not necessarily a visitor trend, but it's a program available to York County residents is our tourism grant program, right? And so, I mean, it opens 2 times a year. We're always looking for amazing tourism grant projects to fund. So if you have an idea, an event, you know, reach out to us, check out our tourism grant program, talk to our grant program manager, Elizabeth, and use that as a resource.
Awesome. Thanks, Melissa.
Mhm.
And on the topic of visitor trends and preferences and how businesses should know about them, Michael or Megan, want to open that up to you if you have anything to add.
Yeah, so something that I've been really excited about, given my new work now with our nonprofit community, are some of the latest trends that are talking to travelers and visitors about basically what they're calling impact travel. So like an American Express travel trends report showed that 78% of people want to positively impact the communities that they're visiting, and Booking.com, you know, had said that people are willing to pay more for experiences that are giving back to the local communities. And so I think that that is huge. You know, we've talked a lot about these sort of authentic experiences, and York really does have this amazing community where we work together, and you know, that the people aspect, you know, is something that we know as people who live here, but that translates to visitors. And I think that that is something that is, you know, Melissa mentioned like the brand that we are and the brand that we want. That is also who we are, like as a people, as a community. And I think that energy can really translate to our visitors. I was struck by it watching the PNC video at the start of this. I mean, you know, they're talking about how they give back to the community, how they're a welcoming company, how they're a great place to work. And you're watching that and you're like, yes, I want them to be my bank. So if you are checking out places to travel, and you see that, you know, your hotel is a big partner in the community and gives back, or, you know, the restaurant that you're going to is supporting local farms and practices great sustainability, you know, that those are experiences that people are saying that they want and they're willing to pay more for. So I think we should be highlighting the fact that we do that here, and make that a part of the story, is that how important community is to York, and really all of the businesses, you know, are really great partners with the community. So I think that that's, you know, that should be added to our sort of to our brand, and can be a part of the story that we tell when people come here to visit.
And Meg, on the topic of nonprofit community, so Give Local York is coming up. No pressure for anybody on this call, but it's on May 1st, Friday. So, you know, we'll see an influx of customers and new visitors to downtown York. So how can businesses connect with those potential customers?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we chose the first Friday in May as the day for Give Local York, so that we can build on the energy that already exists in downtown on First Fridays. First Fridays in general, we see a major influx of people. You know, this might be the one time a month that they're coming into downtown. And with Give Local, especially because we have nonprofits who are participating from every corner of the county. We have people coming from, from Dillsburg and Hanover and Delta and everywhere in between, to support organizations and causes that they care about. Those nonprofits really take over the streets of downtown York. This year, we're very excited to partner with the Yorktown and use that as one of our home bases. Yay, thank you. So I think, to really tie that in, this is an opportunity to really come full circle, right? This is an opportunity to for our businesses in downtown York, but also in the other communities that we have here in York and Hanover, in Dillsburg, to band together to reach out to causes that you care about and partner with those organizations. We've seen really successful partnerships where, restaurants will host one of the nonprofits for the day, and a portion of proceeds go back to that nonprofit as a gift on Give Local Day. Same with shops. But then you also are bringing in all of that organization's supporters. So, that may be the first time that these folks are hearing of your restaurant, but because you are being a friend to a cause that they're really passionate about, they're going to come see you on that day. And when they have an amazing experience with you, they're going to return. So Give Local provides a really, really easy springboard for these partnerships. And we have
Okay, Meg froze a little bit. No pressure. I'm sure as soon as I start talking, she'll come back on. But Michael, let's jump over to you on a similar topic about how businesses in downtown York can tap into guests staying at the hotel and the importance of the district app that plays into that.
Great. Yeah, I think, well, a little shout out to Hannah. For those of you who don't know, I went on the district tours early last year and had a chance to go to the district meetings, and Hannah was the spearhead of that. And her passion and her commitment to what can we do and how can we have the hotel affect those businesses in those districts. And so that was really the foundation for those meetings, was more of a town hall, seek first to understand, then be understood. And one of the things that we further developed from those meetings was the districts app. And that is going to be an incredibly valuable tool to partner with us, help us to help one another by participating in the districts app. Get your information on there, have some photos that celebrate your business. What types of things is it that you're doing? Because what it does is, anybody that's coming to the hotel, we have built, and it's been funded by the hotel, and Hannah and Jonathan spearheaded the execution of it, where we have QR codes that are posted throughout the hotel that have the district's app on it, so the guests can flash onto that and they can find you. The beautiful thing about the district's app is that they can find you, and then they can decide where they want to go next, and they can continue their experience from location to location to location without having to come back to the hotel. So, we could not be more thrilled to have that district's app present in our building, throughout our building, ease of access, QR code, and give us another vehicle to communicate the great things that are here in downtown. The other component to that is running in sync with the district's app is that we built a concierge deck that was really created by the York College students. And then we took it to our marketing group, and we've got a 17-page concierge deck that has links to your business. So if you're a business that has meeting and event space, or dining, or nightlife, or attractions, or art, culture, and history, shopping and leisure, rec and fitness, necessities, grocery stores, Rite Aid, those types of things, and the local colleges, between the district's app while you're mobile on your app and our concierge deck that will be available. Susan Schofield played a huge role in that, formerly in working at having a business in Royal Square District, to kind of tweak it in the interest of every single vendor, getting the information accurate and trying to get it as current as it can possibly be. So we're going to launch at opening with a concierge deck that not only is available to the guest in presentation, it's available to the guests in terms of QR code. It's also a training tool for our front office to make sure that they're as informed about your business as they possibly can to give us the opportunity to create that exponential referral type of relationship. And then the third and last thing in terms of building our relationship and being connected with Yorktown is Yorktown.com. If you go to Yorktown.com and you go to our website, that website, that splash page, we're one of only 2 brands in the entire Hilton family that is allowed to have that splash page. We, Curio by Hilton and Tapestry Collection by Hilton. Tapestry is what's called a lifestyle brand, and that is really, really critical that we have that splash page because it creates a feeling that then we deliver on in our hotel upon arrival. And being a lifestyle brand, there's some very unique pictures that you can find on there that kind of walk you through what is going to come forward. Then you see the hotel itself, you see the vinyl slicks that tell a story in form of renderings. Then you're actually in the hotel. The Yorktown.com is the third piece. So districts, concierge deck, Yorktown.com. And then lastly, but not leastly, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, be our friends, let us be your friends, and let's create that visibility and that partnership together so that we're showing up on all of those types of things. And you're going to see a number of key pieces of key information via social media that I think as a local partner, you'll creatively be able to capture and be a part of that will help drive your business in terms of the presence of our guests, but also, and more importantly, from a sales, revenue, and traffic perspective. We've got some exciting things that are coming up here. Ribbon cutting on the 31st, first Friday, and then we've got some exciting things for Valentine's Day and through February. So we'll be on the Melissa list of different stuff that's happening in the area. And obviously with Megan, we're partnering with Give Local York, and we couldn't be more proud. So anything we can partner with, anything we can work on together, we want to be involved with you. So just, let us do that, please.
Love it. Thanks, Michael. So one question here in the chat that I do want to answer before we move on, Melissa, really quick, was about how does a business gain access to the convention calendar? Karen asked that. Do you have an email or a website or something that we could put in the chat for her?
Yes, you can share my email address. I don't know if that's something you want me to do, to put in the
You can
chat.
do that. Yep. We'll do
Okay.
that.
So, and I can talk with Karen directly about that.
Awesome.
And just to sort of piggyback on what Michael just said, I mean, yes, obviously, the 3 of us are here, representing different businesses and industry somewhat, but it's a lot. It's this, it's the same. It's all marketing. And so for us, it's just engaging with us in channels that make sense for you, channels that make sense for your business, channels that make sense for your visitors. Use us as a resource, use us as a conduit to get messaging out there. We have a direct line to the state tourism office to be able to share things on behalf of the whole county that, of what's going on with their agencies that they're doing on social media and that they're pitching to travel writers. It's just another level. It's just another benefit of having a partnership with Explore York. And I mean, we do sponsorships as well, where we support events and help, I could go on and on. We need like a 3-hour webinar.
And another one is about the travel guide from Rebecca. So for Explore York's travel guide, Rebecca, if you could, how about we do this? We will, for questions specific for panelists about like the travel guide and the one that I just mentioned that just left my head, the listing of events. All the panelists will receive your information in a follow-up email. So then they'll have access to tap into your resources further via email with you directly. So we can explore York's offerings through that channel. So in our last few minutes here, just want to thank all of our panelists. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to PNC again for hosting. We do have some announcements from our panelists and from Downtown Inc. specifically. So one is about Explore York's tourism grant program. You guys are still accepting round 1 of applications for the 2023 program. The grant program is seeking tourism projects that support geographic diversity across the county. So this is countywide. and tourism projects that promote racial equity are also desired. So applications are open now through February 15th at noon. And for more info, we just dropped in the chat, yorkpa.org/grants. And also Go Green in the City is coming up. And Downtown Inc. hosts that. That will be on April 23rd, 2023 from 10 to 3 p.m. And we're looking for more vendors, earth conscious vendors, nonprofits, kids activities, local makers, food trucks, all the good stuff that makes an event great. Again, the link to be a vendor and for more information on that event are in the chat. So join us next month. We have another exciting group of panelists and another exciting topic about artscapes and murals and public artwork coming. So that will be on February 15th. That's our Bloom Business Series workshop for February, 8:30 a.m. virtually here again. So again, we'll follow up with all of the attendees today, give the panel information and send you guys a link to the recording from today's webinar so you can watch at your leisure. Anything else in our last few minutes?
I just have a question. I see a couple of, and I apologize, I think you addressed some of this, but I see a few specific questions in the Q&A. I think that that some of those are specifically for Explore York programs. And so could you, for the three people that asked those questions, I would love to talk with you sort of separately. It's not a super easy answer, all three of those, for me to just type it into the chat, but feel free to send me your questions directly at melissa@yorkpa.org, and we can schedule time to discuss a phone call, an email, whatever's the easiest.
Awesome, thank you. All right, Megan, Michael, anything else? Good stuff coming this spring, this month, this year, right?
Registration is open for Give Local York. So if you are a 501c3, please join us. It's an amazing day. And if you are a business and interested in partnering with a 501c3, reach out to me, Megan at givelocalyork.org, and I'll get you connected.
Awesome.
And
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's
Go
just,
ahead, Michael.
and it's the only thing I had was first Friday, artist installation, 12 incredibly talented artists and their installations in multiple areas of the hotel. You don't want to miss it. It is actually jaw-dropping, sets you back on your heels. Incredible talent in York that is featured and captured throughout the hotel. You won't be sorry that you came by on first Friday to take a look at what we have to roll out from our local community.
Yay, such good stuff. All right, thank you, everybody.